Yeah, so right after the KC Cup, we have our new ban list, which is kind of expected. It basically basically every time there's a KC Cup, there will be a ban list right after. I don't know anything about the ban list. It literally just came out half an hour ago, so I know absolutely nothing. I've not seen any notifications or spoilers. I don't even know that I have. I don't even. I don't even know that we had a ban list before I opened the game. War Rock players. Okay. So before I before I open the ban list, I want to talk about what I expect or what I want to see from the ban list. So of course, tier 0 Salman grades probably should have a few cards limited. For me personally, I think that the deck it's good definitely, but it's not as good as some people think. So I think that limit is definitely necessary, but they don't have to limit too many cards because the deck itself has quite a lot of weaknesses, and just limiting a few of the cards to reduce its consistency and follow up can already help to lower the power level of the deck a lot. So, if I were to make a prediction for what cards they are going to limit, I would say Circle to 2, so they can search their Gazelle a little bit less likely, and also maybe Balinix, Balinix to 1 or to 2, so they can have less protection from the graveyard, because Balinix is one of the most annoying protections from the graveyard, especially if you have multiple of them. So if it's hit to 1 or limited to 2, then it will be pretty good. I don't want Lady Debug or Silent Mining to be limited, because obviously they are also used in other cyber decks like Code Talkers, and also future cyber decks that will be out. So yeah, they they also might limit some other salad cards to 2 or even 1, maybe some of the one-offs, but I don't really mind those. So what I most want to see is Circle to 2 and a limit to Balinix. So limit 1 or limit 2 to Balinix. And honestly, that will probably be enough, because yeah, the deck isn't too good anyway, personally speaking. Uh yeah, so that's for salads. Are there any other decks that should be limited? Uh Let me just check to see. Okay, Mech Knights are a bit too new, so I don't expect them to limit Mech Knights that early. And also, while they are quite decent, they're not as threatening as decks like Salads, or even older meta decks that were top tier. But yeah, they're still annoying, but they're pretty new, so I don't think that they will be hit. Okay, Photons. I mean, Photons are already quite an old deck, just compared to stuff like Salads, and they didn't get hit for the last ban list as well, so I don't imagine that they will be hit this ban list. I think Photons are pretty okay. They are quite annoying because a lot of people use them, but in terms of like power level, I don't see it as too big of a threat. And also, it is not a new deck, so they didn't limit that deck last ban list, so I wouldn't imagine them limiting them in this ban list as well. Okay, what else? I think that's pretty much it. I don't think that there are a lot of decks that need to be limited aside from salads. But there are some cards that I want to see unlimited. So let me just check the limited list if I can find it. Okay. Okay, so here are some cards that I want to see unlimited. Obviously, Crystron's my favorite deck, and also yeah, I want to see stuff like Gen X Controller just be unlimited. I am absolutely biased, but yeah, I want to see Crystron's unlimited. While I was searching for the ban list on Duelix Meta, I have spoiled myself, unfortunately. But I haven't seen the entire ban list, but I have unfortunately spoiled myself for a single card. I have seen Circle being limited to 3, but we'll still just go over them one by one, I guess. And also, yeah, I hope that Shiranui just gets unlimited because I quite like the deck, and I like the combo version, not the heavy trap version. I think the combo version is pretty fun. And even if they unlimited all the cards in the deck, I still think they won't be overpowered. They will be probably a pretty good rogue deck, but they're probably fine to be in the meta. Yeah, okay, let's begin. Let's go in and have a look. Implementation details. Ooh, oh. Okay. Gazelle to 1, Roar to 1. Okay, that is a huge hit. That's a huge hit. Man. I don't think that the deck deserves that big of a hit. This hit completely kills off what makes the deck good. Without Roar and Gazelle, I don't think the deck can do much. I think the biggest appeal of Salads is that they can consistently search a negate and set it every turn, but now they couldn't. They just couldn't. I think that now both Gazelle and Roar is limited to 1, the deck has just lost its purpose, and I don't think it should be even in the meta. I don't think that it should be tiered at all after this hit. Yeah, it's a huge hit. Because the salad monsters aren't that powerful on their own anyway, they rely on their set counter trap and also generic extra deck monsters to actually accomplish something. And now that they don't have a role, they can't do much. They're just a worse version of every other old meta deck in the game. Well, even if you try to mix them with Mech Knights or other decks, that doesn't change the fact that you can't play Roar very consistently, right? I imagine players will still play Gazelle because it can mill your monsters to do combos. Because even without Roar, the deck still can do some pretty aggressive plays during turn 2 and make a lot of Link monsters or Xyz monsters. But without Roar, I don't think the deck is worth playing. Is at all. The reason why people were playing Salads in Mech Knights is because it gives them a negate, and also an extra card in the column. But now, they couldn't have a negate, so... Yeah, I just believe the deck is completely dead both Gazelle and Roar limited to 1. It's, in my opinion, that's too harsh of a hit. I don't think the deck needs that harsh of a hit, but oh well, I guess the deck is completely dead now. Okay. No! 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 Why? Why? No way! No! No! Oh, why? Why would you do this to me? Why? Why would you do this to us? Okay, I can see why Konami decided to limit this card, because everyone is using it in salads. Because it is just one of the best staples to run in salads. And now it's limited to 1. It's so sad. It's just so sad. Okay, it's undeniably... This card is still undeniably good since release. It has just gone better over time, even though no one is using this card in TCG or even Master Duel. But this card is still good in Duel Links. In this format, this card is still one of the most game-changing cards in the entire game. And it is absolutely free, which is really, really good for free-to-play players. But, it's limited to 1, so I guess Konami just hates free-to-play players. Oh no. They probably did this to sell Crackdown too, if you think about it, because Econ is just a better Crackdown if you think about it, because it can also be used during your turn immediately. You're just selling Crackdown. But yeah, this card, while it is quite a godsend for free-to-play players, just to have such a good staple for every player to use in every deck, it kind of makes sense that it is limited to 1, because of how game-changing this effect is. And also because Konami keeps releasing new cards that are immediately limited to 1, as you can see in World Legacy Secrets, Trishula, or even cards like Monster Reborn, right? Because they are released and then they're immediately limited to 1. So that means Konami can just instantly prevent those decks from playing enemy controller and being too overpowered. So yeah, I also can see head judging being limited to 1. Okay, no one plays this card anymore, so no one cares. I don't care. This card is very situational to actually use its effect. And even when it is already limited to 2, no one was using it over cards like Enemy Controller or even Treacherous Trap Hole, because those cards are just better. But this card is powerful in a vast number of decks. It is not. No one was using this card. This card could be unlimited, and probably no one will use it. Well, it will still be pretty frustrating if your card gets negated, but it's more frustrating than it is actually good, because honestly, it isn't very good, but it is very, very frustrating if your opponent uses this card and resolves it. But yeah, this is pretty fine. Oh. 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 Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Stretch to 1. Stretch to 1. I can kind of see this coming because they limited Econ to 1, and Econ is a card that is used along Stretch a lot, so I'd imagine that they will also limit Stretch as well. For me personally, I always only play a single copy of Stretch anyway, because if you draw both Stretch, one couldn't be used. So for me, this isn't that much of an issue. I rarely even play Stretch anyway, and even if I do, I only play a single copy. So that's actually good because if both Econ and Tretch is limited to 1, that means a lot of limited 2 cards can be unlimited. So if you think about it that way, it is pretty good. It's healthy for the game as a whole, even though it's really sad to see one of the best free-to-play staples limited to 1. But if you think about it, just for the meta game as a whole, it is quite a healthy thing to do, because that means a lot of the limited 2 cards can be now unlimited. And also I don't think Treacherous needs a ban. Personally, I think 1 copy is fine. I mean, a lot of other cards are already... A lot of the staples are just as good, if not even better than Tretch. If you look at cards like Warning Point, it doesn't target, it doesn't destroy, it negates the effects, and it is absolutely unlimited. So, even cards like Crackdown, there's limited 3, but you can just steal the monster. It's 1 extra monster for link plays, it's non-destruction, you can use it even though if you have traps in your graveyard. So I would argue that a lot of the staples that we have right now in Duel Links are just as good, if not even better than Tretch. Because back in the day, we don't have a lot of good options for staples, so Tretch is probably the best pick we have. And also, back in the day, Book of Moon is very, very popular because it is quite a good card, and links aren't out. But now, because links are in the meta, Book of Moon is a lot less effective than it had been. So people might not use Book of Moon and use other stable traps instead, and that makes Tretch less good. So honestly, Tretch 2-1 is absolutely okay. It's brilliant. Okay. Oh, okay, that's wonderful. Okay, this is really, really good. Yes, Dark Lord Ixchel. How do you pronounce this name? Eggshell. I'll just pronounce it Eggshell. Dark Lord Eggshell 2-1. Okay, that's actually really, really good because no one was playing Dark Lords anymore, and I really, really like the deck. I think the reason why it is so good back in the day is just because they are a lot of times splashed in other decks. For example, Star Seraph and the short amount of time when FAs were broken because of level augmentation. But for now, even back then, the deck is a little bit bricky because they run so many high-level monsters, and they really rely on their search spell to actually have a hand that doesn't break. So yeah, limited to 1 is really good. So now you can use both Eggshell and the revive spell Contact and the Negate, which it's really good because I really like the deck. So it's really good for the deck because even with Eggshell to 1, the deck still wouldn't be too consistent to be too overpowered, but it will give the deck the just the right amount of tools for them to be viable, at least. So that's a really good hit. Not necessarily a hit, it's more like an unlimit if you think about it, because now you can play Eggshell and also the 2 Dark Lord cards. It is a Dark Lord buff. Oh wow, they limited Mech Knight cost so early. Okay, for me personally, Mech Knights are decent. They're definitely good, but I did not expect that they would be hit so early. They're such a new deck, and they already limited Whispers. Oh wow, that means because both secrets and whispers are limited to one, that means they can only choose one. Yeah, they can only choose either a monster negate or a spell negate. And that makes the deck a lot less good. Because what makes Melt Knight so good is that they can negate both monsters, spells, or sometimes even traps, and completely disable your opponent's entire board. And that's even better in Duel Links because we don't have free zones. So that's actually a very, very significant hit. Because you can only negate monsters or negate spells. You can't negate both. So this gives a lot of the other decks a way to out a Mech Knight board a lot easier. And also, just for spell focused decks, it actually gives them a way to play around a Mech Knight board. So yeah. So do I like this change? I think it is a tiny bit too harsh, but it's reasonable. I could see that being a good thing. We'll have to see if this makes Mech Knight immediately untiered. Okay, so that's all the limited 1 cards. Limited 2. No, why did you do this? No, why did you limit Lady Debug? It's perfectly fine. Okay, honestly, Gazelle and Roar to 1 already completely kills the deck off. I don't see a need to limit any other card. Lady Debug is absolutely unnecessary. It also kills off Code Talkers, which is pretty much a pretty good deck. It's a pretty good deck. It's underrated. It is quite fair in my opinion because while they are really consistent, they lack a strong follow up, and their follow up board often needs 2 or more monsters in your hand after you activated your Recoded Alive. So this limit is absolutely unnecessary. I hate this. Why did they even do this? Salad's already dead anyway. Their 2 most important cards are limited to 1. So we are limiting this card as it allows players to consistently play a combination of cards that give their opponent little chance to fight back. Roar is already limited to 1! That's the main problem, it's because they can search Roar. But they couldn't already! There's absolutely no problem! The problem is already solved in the limited 1 category! So, I guess because of Salads, I guess now Code Talkers are also dead. There's pretty much no reason to play Code Talkers anymore, because now Lady Debug is limited to 2. And one of the best things about Code Talkers is that they're really consistent, because they have free debugs and free silent minings, but now debug is limited to 2. And they can't play the limited 2 staples, so that's terrible. Anyway, limited 3, Salamangreat Circle. No one cares, okay? No one cares that Salamangreat Circle is limited to 3. Because the deck is already dead. They could absolutely not limit debug and not limit Circle, and no one will be playing the deck anyway. Just wait, there's more crazy stuff to go. I don't know if that's a good sign or not. But which 2 stable did they even lose? Just look at this. Look at these 3 cards, and that should probably already tell you that the deck is already completely dead. The deck is already completely dead. What are they gonna do without Roar? Now that I think about it, I imagine perhaps I imagine people playing Paleozoics to mill the raw, and then setting it back with Sunlight Wolf. This idea just sounds very funny to me. But yeah, without Gazelle and Roar together, the deck just couldn't do anything. So Circle Limited Free is absolutely unnecessary. I mean might as well. Okay, what's next? Enshi to free, that's fine. Six Samurais are far less good than they were before. Enshi to free is absolutely okay. It might give Six Samurai a bit of competitive power in this meta. Serious question, what's the best deck to build now given this new best? I will just continue after I read the entire ban list. I would suggest maybe play Dark Lords because Eggshell is now limited to 1, so you can play Eggshell. So for me, I will play Dark Lords. Anyway, limited to 3, Enshi. Okay, what's next? Shin's Dojo. Oh, so they're limiting both Dojo and Enshi to 3. Okay. Then that means they can play 2 Dojos and 1 Enshi. I imagine that's the ratio that most people will play. Or they can just play triple Dojo to increase the consistency of making Shien. But I imagine that people will be playing double Dojo and 1 Enshi. And 1 Enishi. I think that they can just unlimit both cards and the deck will be absolutely fine. They're just playing a bit safe. Honestly, both cards can be unlimited and the deck will be completely fine. Okay, no longer on this list. Cosmic Cyclone. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Although this is a very powerful card, it will be unlimited to promote change him. Okay. Yeah, that's actually a really good unlimit because Cosmic Cyclone actually counters a lot of decks. It counters a lot of back row decks that have spells and traps activate in the graveyard. And I imagine that this will be a good unlimit to counter Salads because if you banish the Roar, they couldn't recycle it again. But again, no one will be playing Salads anymore because this hit is huge. So Cosmic Cyclone Unlimited, okay, I guess. Okay, what's next? Invocation to... Oh, okay. Alistair. Is Alistair unlimited now? Invocation to free. Invocation unlimited. Okay, even if Alistair is limited to free, it's completely okay because Invocation is now unlimited. So actually, I think that's pretty okay. Invoked is a lot less good than it was before, especially because Casitas is banned anyway. And even if they summon Purgatory every turn, they're still using their normal summon realistically, and also it's a monster without protection. And because Purgatrio, the problem of Purgatrio before is that your opponent can flip all of your monsters face down and then attack over all of them with Purgatrio and deal a whole bunch of piercing damage. But because links are out, that means those monsters couldn't be switched to defense with Book of Boon, Floodgate, Canadia. That means actually Purgatrio is already a lot less good than it was before. And also, the fire decks just aren't good in this meta. Because salads are gone, so it's fine to have Invocation to free. It's fine to unlimited Invocation, because no one is gonna abuse this with salads. And especially because Circle is free. Circle is limited to free, so they can't even use Alistair with Circle now. Okay, now I see why they limited Circle to free. That means they couldn't splash invoked in in salads. Okay, now I understand. But Macabre coming? I hope not. But Invocation to free, Invocation unlimited, that's actually fine. Ragged Gloves unlimited, that's fine. Phantom Knights are still good. I still believe that even if Ragged Gloves is limited to 2, the deck is still pretty good. But now that it is at 3, the deck is a lot more consistent. They went from 6 starters to 7 starters if you're playing Phantom Strategy. And I don't understand why people aren't playing Phantom Strategies in Phantom Knights. It's a free negate, and it just activates your entire combo. Just basically any 2 Phantom Knights just kickstarts your entire combo. And the deck has crazy follow-up, the deck can set free, has a searchable negate. Yeah, the deck is good. And I'd imagine that Phantom Knights would probably go back into the tier list, maybe as a tier 3 option. But yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, invoked. The Earth Invoke is unlimited. No one was playing this card anyway, because when people play Invoked, they always play Purgatrio or Casitas before it's banned. No one really played this card anyway, no idea why it was even banned. It was banned, no idea why this card was even limited to 2. It was limited to 2 during the time when Element Sabers were tier 1, and people would use Concentrating Current with this card to give it 6,000 attack. But now Concentrated Current is limited to 2, and yeah, it's fine. This card can be unlimited and no one would use it. Okay, Gaga Head, that's okay. The main problem of Onomats was that the skill was broken. Honestly, none of the cards were the problem anyway. All of the Gaga cards or Onomat cards are pretty balanced. The problem was the skill that made the deck super consistent. So yeah, all the Gaga cards could be unlimited and nothing would change. Next card. Yes! 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 Shiranui! Yes! Hey. Shiranui. That's wonderful. That's amazing. I just don't know what to say. I can't believe they unlimited Squire. I will definitely play this deck after the banlist implements. Okay, so let me talk about my thoughts about Shiranui. The deck could be a pretty good rogue deck. The heavy trap version might come back because now that Squire is unlimited, they can play triple Squire, maybe 2 solitaires, and play a whole bunch of traps. But I mean, there are a lot of other decks that are better that you can play heavy traps on. You can play Phantom Knights with heavy traps. You can play what other decks are there? Let me just check real quick. Yeah, you can just. Yeah, it's totally fine. It is totally fine. Because if you're playing a heavy trap version of Shiranui, you would much rather just use another deck that has a consistency skill, like Phantom Knights, because it helps you just make your board more consistent while you still have free cards to set. So, while Shiranui will probably be a bit annoying, but I imagine because links are out, there are so much more generic options to deal with what Shiranui can do on the board. There are a lot more Sunsala counters, stuff like Crackdown, Warding Point on your Squire, Security Dragon, Ningirsu. Pretty much every deck can play an out to out Sun Saga or just any other Shiranui card. So that's pretty good. And don't forget that Solitaire is still limited to 2. So they still can't use a lot of other limited 2 cards. But yeah, I am excited to play Shirnuis. And this definitely helps to diversify the meta, to actually make some older decks that are good see play in the new meta and see how they perform. Yeah. Spirit Master Unlimited, absolutely fine. It was at 3 before the ban list, and nothing much happened. Oh. Oh. Necros Unlimited. Oh. Okay. So, what do I think about this deck? The deck is okay. The deck is not broken. The deck is very annoying when they keep ending the battle phase with Valkyries and also other hand traps that they could play. It was really good when it is limited to 2 because they couldn't play other cards like Kiteroid to stall along with Valkyries. But now that it's unlimited, they can play 3 copies of this card. They can search it every turn and just stall for eternity. So in terms of like power level, I don't think that the deck will be a lot more powerful, but I think that it will be a very annoying deck to face. And I do not look forward to seeing more Necros players in the ladder just stalling with this card and just being annoying. Anyway. Yes! Yes! Genix controller! Crystron! Let's go! Okay. Nice. Genix controller was never deserved to be in the ban list anyway. So seeing it being unlimited is really, really good news. Well, that means Crystrons will be a lot more consistent than they were before, and also in the Seal Self-Attack version, they can play Undyne and still have more limited 2 cards that they can actually play, because Genix Undyne can mill Citadel well, and because you're also forced to play Controller, that means you can only play 1 other limited 2 card, but now you can play both the Genix engine and also the Crystron limited 2 cards, which is actually really good. I'm honestly fine with Citri and Impacted 2. Personally, just as a biased Crystron player, I obviously hope that Crystrons are absolutely unlimited. I don't think even if they're unlimited, the deck will do a lot. But honestly, Controller to unlimited is pretty good. Okay, that's the end. What do I think about this ban list? So first of all, salads are just dead. They overkilled salads way too hard. They even prevented them to be splashed in Invoked because they limited Circle to 3 just in case people were trying to splash Invoked. But they weren't even using Invoked before the ban list anyway. Because before the ban list, you could totally just play Invoked with salads, but no one was doing it. Probably just because they don't have to. Because the deck is already so good on its own. But they could not even thought one step ahead and just prevented people from playing Invoked with salads. So after this ban list, salads are completely dead. I expect them to not be in the meta at all. And I don't think they're even good as a rogue deck without consistent access to a Omni Negate. And another thing is Econ to 1, even though it's really sad in a free-to-play player's perspective, because it is a godsend of a free-to-play staple to be used for every single free-to-play player's deck. But it kind of makes sense that it is limited to 1 because of how game-changing its effect is. stealing a monster can oftentimes win you the game, especially in the Link era, where you can just steal a high Link arrow monster and just use it as a Link climbing tool to make it even stronger. And also, now that enemy controller and Tretch both are limited to 1, that allows a lot of limited 2 cards to be unlimited. So that is just good for the meta game overall. And head judging, honestly, nobody really cares. Okay, Mag Knights also got hit. This hit is significant. Even as a new deck, the deck already got hit. And Whispers to 1 means that they can't play Secrets and Whispers together in a single deck. Which means when they build a Mech Knight deck, they will have to choose between negating monsters or negating spells. They couldn't negate both. So I imagine that most players will be picking the monster negate because it's just better overall. It also revives a monster. So this gives most decks that play spells more options to out a full Mech Knight board. And for just innocent victims, Code Talkers are also hit by the limiting of Lady Debug. It makes a deck a lot less consistent and also limits the cards they can actually play as their back row. And before the banlist, the deck is okay as a rogue deck. It has consistent access to disruption. They can OTK pretty easily because of Recoded Alive, being able to activate during the same turn, and also because of Econ, it can also help tribute your Code Talkers to activate the graveyard effect of Recoded Alive and also help to push for a game. But because both Debug and Econ is limited, I imagine there is probably not much of a reason to play Code Talkers anymore. Okay, for the unlimit, I'll start with Eggshell. Okay, Eggshell is a good unlimit. I imagine because of the bricky nature of the deck, Eggshell to 1 is fine. It makes the deck at least playable, because the deck is really struggling to be viable in this meta without Eggshell even being available. But now they have 1 copy of this, and it can help just make things better. And the reason why they were good before was because they were splashed in other decks anyway, and those other decks were limited already, so it's fine to have it limited to 1. And also because it's limited to 1, they can't play Monster Reborn. So that's a good way to limit how many revival spells they can play. Other decks that are also unlimited, other decks that are also buffed from the banlist are Six Samurais, Invoked, Phantom Knights, Onrumat, and Necros, Cristrons, and most notably Shiranui. While the other decks might not make a huge impact on the meta immediately, I imagine that Shiranui will emerge as a pretty good deck in the meta. Probably even be tiered, because Squire is their 1-card combo, which enables their entire deck, and now it jumps straight from limited to unlimited. So I look forward to seeing people play the combo version of this deck. Please don't play the trap version. It's not fun at all. And also, if you're playing the trap version, there are just other decks that are better to splash traps in, like Phantom Knights. So there's that. Overall, did I like the ban list? Yes. I absolutely love the ban list, even though Econ is limited to 1. That's quite sad, because I'm using this card at 2 in basically every single free-to-play deck that I build. But honestly, looking at all the other cards, looking at how Salad is brutally murdered, and Shiranui, Cristrons are bringing back to the meta, I honestly think, and also Dark Lords, I think that this balance is overall quite good. It gives old decks a chance to compete with the newer decks that are dominating the meta right now. And I just hope that after the banlist implements, we will see a healthier meta with more diverse decks. And I'll also be interested to see how the older decks adapt to the new meta. And also how the new decks could counter the old decks with new cards that they have. So yeah. Well, there are no skill updates, so it's just a ban list. It's just a ban list. There's no skill updates. Honestly, the skills are fine. Okay, I'll talk a bit about the skills. Honestly, the skills are fine. All the skills in the game currently are pretty good, are pretty balanced. There isn't a particularly broken skill in the game. They're definitely good skills. Like Galaxy Photons have a good skill that enables the entire deck to be even playable. We have the Train deck skill, and even the skill of, say, Gimmick Puppets. They're definitely strong skills, but are they broken? I don't think so. These skills just make the deck playable. But the skills on their own, they are still not broken enough that I think that they should be nerfed. And honestly, even like Destiny Draw is pretty okay in this format, because honestly, if you look at the people you play against in ranked or just in any PvP mode, there aren't a lot of players playing Destiny Draw anymore because there are just other better skills to use for specific decks. So yeah. I'll probably do an outro for YouTube. I'll post this video in the regular time that I usually post my videos, in a few hours time. So what are your guys' thoughts about the ban list? Do you like the ban list, or do you absolutely hate the ban list? Personally, I quite like the ban list, and I look forward to seeing how you guys think about the ban list. Just tell me in the comments, and thanks for watching. Goodbye. Okay, outro done. Now let's play top 5 free-to-play decks. Now that there is a new ban list, I will be changing my decks to removing a single copy of Econ, just to adapt to the new ban list. And also, I had some predetermined picks for top 5 free-to-play decks. Now they have to change, because obviously, Salads will probably be one of the best free-to-play decks in my video, but now it's completely dead, and no reason to play it. So Salads won't be in my list anymore. And Mech Knights, should Mech Knights be in the list? I mean, Mech Knights are still pretty good because monster negates are still good. Even though if they don't have spell negates, monster negates are still quite nice. So I'll probably still place Mech Knights in my top 5 free-to-play list. Okay, what else? Oh, Infernoids. Yeah, Infernoids are pretty good as a free-to-play deck, because even though the deck is quite new, you can get all the cards in the newest box, and they can still consistently make a negate turn 1 if you go first. And honestly, that's pretty good for a free-to-play deck. It has an archetype negate that you can consistently make without using a lot of other expensive staples. And even with free to play generic link monsters, the deck can still OTK pretty easily because of Puzzlomino and the high level Infernos. But yeah, I will have to think about that. So originally I thought about playing the top 5 free to play decks today. Maybe I'll just do it tomorrow because I will be streaming tomorrow anyway. Weather Painters. Good question. Are Weather Painters good? Probably not. Weather Painters. Yeah, I learned how to say Puzzlomino. I will not make the same mistake I have always made. Okay. Okay, now what do we do? Because originally I have left just enough time for me to get a few replays, but time is running short because of the banlist review. So I don't think there's probably enough time to do a lot of free-to-play decks, but yeah, in case you're wondering why I'm using Aigami, is because I played Cubics in a dual room that I hosted a week ago. And yeah, there will probably be a skill rework in some time, but I don't think that really matters because the strongest decks weren't even using specific skills anyway. Stuff like Salads or Magnites. They aren't using a specific skill that makes a deck broken, right? Well, Galaxy is annoying, but in terms of power level, it's okay. It's not that good. Wait, that's before we end the stream. I want to play a free-to-play deck. I want to, because we probably won't have time to get replays for the top 5 free-to-play, but I can still play a free-to-play deck before I end the stream. There's probably still enough time for that. What should I even play? Actually, I have a list of decks that I want to free-to-play decks that I want to play on stream. I'll just go find it and see if I can find it. Let's see. Yeah. I found one. Remember the time when Acid Golem just released the rank 3 that has 3k attack and locks you out of special summons? Yeah. I want to play meme deck that gives your opponent a 0 material acid golem. I don't know if I played the deck before, but it sounds pretty fun. So let's do that. The skill we will be using is overlay removal. Yeah, let's build a troll deck. Because I haven't trolled enough people in the KC Cup. So let's troll even more people. We'll play a bunch of level 3 monsters. Okay, so the deck I want to base around is this card, Acid Golem of Destruction. This card has a ton of attack and also defense, but all of its effects are drawbacks. So during your standby phase, you need to detach a material or take 1,000 damage, and you cannot special summon monsters. Even if it has a material, you still can't special summon monsters. So as long as this card's on the field, you pretty much can only use this card. And while this card has no exceeds materials, it can attack. Well, this sounds pretty crap, right? That's why we're giving it to our opponent. And we have a card to do that, and it's free. I'll see if I can find it. It destroys monsters, so let's select that. And then we will find Mystic Box. We'll just give our opponent an Acid Golem and just watch them burn in agonizing pain. Where's reload? Where's reload? Okay, reload's here. Yeah, it's just Lava Golem, but Exceeds version. And also, Lava Golem is actually... No, because Acid Golem summons in your field, and Lava Golem summons in your opponent's field. But Acid Golem is better to have it in your opponent's field because it has so many drawbacks. So we'll just have to manually give our opponent a copy of Acid Golem without a material. We'll just use a skill to just remove all the materials. Sounds pretty fun. I also changed the name of the stream later after I built the deck. RIP Gazelle. Anyway, where's this box actually coming from? Oh, okay, it's Arts of Atlantis. What are the cards that we can actually use, huh? Can we use Kagemusha Knight? We can! Okay, we can use this card. Let's use 2 Kagemusha Knights. Part of the Guardians? No, I refuse to use Power of the Guardians in any of my decks. It is bad. It is just objectively bad. It's only good in low ranks, and I'm in King of Games, so no, I refuse to use that card. Ever. Anyway, what other cards can we use? Oh, we actually have a few options. We can use Shark Stickers and Hammer Shark, or we can use Rock Monsters. I think we should probably use Rock Monsters, right? Because we can. Also, if we use Rock Monsters, we can play Gorgonic Guardian. Yeah, is that from the box? It is! We can play Gorgonic Guardian if we play Rock Monsters. So let's do that. We can also triple Gargoyle, triple Sentry Soldier of Stone, and then we can even play Crystal Burns, but it only special summons itself when your opponent already has a monster, which is not really ideal. Oh, we can play the Sidekick Wielder. I think that's what it's called. This one, Psychic Tracker. And then oh wait, that's 20 cards. And then we can play a bunch of rank frees. We can play just a few rank frees and then play some links as well because it's still link era. We can play links. Plus Lumino and power code. Okay, done. Done. And then overlay removal. Overlay removal to just drain all the materials of Acid Golem. And then free to play Acid Golem Troll. Why is it censored? Why is Troll censored? Why is Troll censored? What's wrong with Troll? Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. No one will notice that that's not actually an L. Anyway, let's quickly build the deck so we can put it on screen. Deck builder website. And also, by the way, if you have never visited my website before, go have a look. It's cool. I made it myself. Gorgon. Sentry. Tracker. Sacking is also censored. Is that true? Mystic. Oh, there's a lot of mystic cards. More than I thought. Mystic box. And then a reload. Magical mallet. And then Acid Golem. Nightmare Shock. Nightmare Shock. And then Leviathan Dragon. Puzzle Minnow. And then Power Code. Done. Skill overlay removal. And then deck name. Free to play Acid Golem Bar. Okay. Now we put it next to the screen. Deck. And then we open. Nice. Okay, now it's done. We'll change the stream title, and we will play some free-to-play decks. Free-to-play Acid Golem deck. Done. Okay, now we begin. We'll begin by an intro to YouTube. Have you ever read this card, Acid Golem of Destruction, and thought it is pretty crap? It says during your standby phase, detach a Xyz material or take a during your standby phase, detach a material or take 1000 damage, and you cannot special summon any monsters. And if this card has no Xyz material, it cannot attack. So it's basically all negative effects tied into a high attack rank 3 monster. There's basically no reason to play this card. You can literally play Leviathan Dragon and it will still be better than playing a big Xyz monsters with a ton of drawbacks. But what if we give it to our opponent with no materials? And that is what we're doing. And the way we will do it is with a Mystic Box. It targets opponent's monster, destroys it, and then just gives a monster you control to the opponent for free. And it is permanent. So even though we have other cards like Xian Spy, which also has a similar effect to give our opponent a monster. Xian Spy. Right, Xian Spy. It just gives our opponent a monster, but it is only until the end phase. But it's not ideal. We will want to give it forever. And that's why we are playing Mystic Box. That is a free to obtain card that gives a monster to our opponent forever. And we're also playing Reload and Magical Mallet to help us draw into the card more easier. And we're also playing a bunch of level 3 monsters like Kagemucha Knight, Gorgonic Gargoyle, Sentry Soldier of Stone, and also Psychic Tracker to help us spam our field with level 3 monsters to summon Acid Golem. And we will also use the skill Overlay Removal. It allows us to target an Xyz monster we control and just remove all the Xyz materials. So with no materials, this card cannot attack. So basically, if we give this card with no materials to our opponent, they cannot special summon, they can't attack, and they can't use this card. And they just take 1000 damage every turn. But you might defeat and normally your opponent could just use it as link material, but it just says it cannot be. It just says you cannot special summon any monsters, so your opponent cannot even use it as a link material. So that's basically it. The win condition of this deck is to give your opponent Acid Golem and just make them take 1000 damage every turn until they die. Or you can just speed things up with Nightmare Shark attacking directly, or Gorgonic Guardian to make your opponent's attack 0. But yeah, that's the main game plan, and let's hop into the games. Some of the cards in my website will be swapped because of the sorting system of the website I use. Because both Leviathan Dragon and Nightmare Shark are both Xyz monsters with the same rank and the same rarity, so sometimes it mixes them up. It is just for short, it is because the algorithm that I use to sort the cards in my website, it is a bit complicated, but basically it is not 100% identical to the one that the game uses. So that might happen sometimes. Okay, our opponent is playing Infernoids, and they have 1000 extra life points, but it is okay. We have full combo because we have Mystic Box, we have 2 level 3 monsters to special summon. So as long as our opponent doesn't activate any disruption, we can just lock our opponent out of the entire game. We can make Acid Golem. It doesn't matter if you make it in attack or defense because it cannot attack anyway. Here it is, Acid Golem. We will place it on defense because why not? And then we will activate Overlay Removal, and then just take away all its materials, and then activate Mystic Box. We'll destroy any monster our opponent controls and give our opponent the Acid Golem. And if he doesn't have a disruption right now, it will be over. Oh wait, he can just tribute it, right? Okay, I'm not sure if that still works. I don't know if that if Mystic Ball still give. It doesn't. Okay, that we scooped this. Anyway, hey, we're just unlucky, okay? Not everyone's playing a monster that can tribute itself. So actually, this deck prefers going second because Mystic Bolt needs a monster in your opponent's side of the field. But that also means that your deck will be a bit vulnerable to back row. So there's also that to keep in mind. Oh, he's playing Monarch of the Deep Sea. Oh, we're going first. I'm not sure what we do going first against Shark Drake. I guess we can set Sentry Pass, maybe. I guess. Well, it can special summon itself from a graveyard if we have another rock monster. So hopefully, if we draw another rock monster, it can enable us to make an Xyz monster. Okay, our opponent's actually playing Ice Barriers. That's pretty weird because most people who played the skill. Wait, what skill is this? Oh, that's the skill that adds a shark thing. Okay, I thought that was a shark rising skill that lowers their own life points and makes their shark drink vice OTK enabler. But apparently this is the weak skill that you get for free. That just gives you a free shark drink. Ice barriers. That is not really good because I don't want my sentry soldier to be banished. I want it to be in the graveyard. Okay, at least our opponent doesn't seem to be going to banish our monster. So as long as we don't die this turn, we'll be fine. So it's okay. He can destroy my Secretary of Stone. As long as he doesn't summon. Okay, set 2. Okay. We still have a chance. It's pretty weird that he's not playing territory. Maybe because he doesn't have the skill. It's weird to think that sometimes people just don't have the skill that they need. Because when you look at a lot of the other players, you always have the illusion that everyone just magically gets the skill that they need. But no. Anyway, we're gonna normal summon this Gorgonic Gargoyle. And then we'll just special summon Kalyamucha Knight from our hand. Well, yeah, Book of Moon. But yeah, he did in fact book a rock monster. He's pretty smart. Okay. We'll not use Mystic Box and we'll just end turn. Oh, that's Cosmic Cyclone. I guess we're dead. Book of Money. It's not that expensive anymore because you can get it from a main box. It used to be really expensive. That was when I got 3 copies of it. Now I have 6. It's always like that. A very powerful staple comes out from a selection box. I get 3 copies of it, and then it's released in the main box, and I get 3 more copies of it, and now I have 6 Book of Moons. What am I even supposed to do during turn 1? Set Sentry of Stone again. End turn. Oh, salads. Bye. Enjoy your last few days of playing salads before your deck gets completely annihilated. Reasons you shouldn't go for a selection, yeah. Normally you shouldn't just go for a selection box just to get one powerful staple. But I am a Duel Links content creator. I am legally obligated to buy every single box that comes out and get free copies of every single card, even though it's absolutely not free to play. Yeah, I am interested to see how people will be playing Silence after the ban list. It won't be good because there isn't a roar, and even if they play roar, they can't search it. So no reason to play roar. They will probably just play Gazelle. It makes the most sense. Just play Gazelle and just make links, I guess. Foxy doesn't search roar. It's a copium search. So it isn't actually a search. It's just opening the top three. Would you call Dark Magical Circle a search? I wouldn't. It's like Dark Magical Circle. It's opening the top three cards of a deck and just copium. And you're only playing a single copy of it, so even if you get it to your hand, it's not worth it. And if you're playing Roar, you can't play Gazelle, so I don't think it's worth it. Oh, it's the same stat player. I remember this guy. It's the South player that we've played against. Why is everyone playing Silence? It's because the end is near. They can't play Silence anymore after the balanced. Going free ones? It's fine. We're in King of Games. It's fine if we scoop 100 times. Nothing will happen. Our opponent just isn't an opponent. Why is no one playing? Hello? Anyone? Anyone here? I'll try again. Maybe. It's taking so long. Why is it taking so long? Okay, finally. I hope that isn't Silence. Okay, actually, even if it is, it's probably fine if they don't negate my stuff. Okay, it's Photons. And we're going first against a Photon player. Okay, that's not happening, right? Just immediately skip it. Play going first against Photons against all decks. Why did they hit DM? They're not good. Stop pretending that they're good. They're not good. They're just annoying because a lot of people are playing it. They're not good. They're okay. There's a reason they unlimited Cosmic Cyclone. If you just destroy or banish their Eternal Soul, they just automatically lose. The reason why you lose to them isn't because they're good as a deck. It's because you didn't draw a backward removal. It's just because you're unlucky. And also, because there's so many Dark Magician players in the ladder anyway, you're gonna lose to one eventually. So it just gives you the illusion that you keep losing to Dark Magicians. It's because you keep facing Dark Magicians, not because it's good. Oh, we're gonna lose this. It's Pendulums. And also, if you're trying to play a deck after the ban list, there are so many decks to choose. You can just play, for free-to-play players, just play Shiranui. It's unlimited now. It's super cheap. If you're willing to spend a bit more money, Dark Lords, Crystons, or even like newer decks like Odd Eyes. Odd Eyes aren't hit at all. So just play Odd Eyes. Odd Eyes were completely untouched. Okay, Pendulums. Okay, we're going second. Okay. Oh, it's not Pendulums, it's Salads, isn't it? That's Salads. God dang it. Okay, I actually don't know that if Mystic Box actually works if your opponent uses Balinix to protect his own monster. Because it says destroy the first target, then give control of the second target. We tested that doesn't work if your opponent tributes the monster that we targeted, because we lost to an Infernoid deck because of that. But I'm not sure if it does work. It probably won't. It probably won't. But there's still hope. If we draw 2 Mystic Boxes, we can use it twice, and yeah, so we won't scoop immediately. There's still a chance if we draw a second Mystic Box. And also if our opponent doesn't negate it. Oh yeah, it seems like our opponent is not milling a roar. Probably because they already drew it, which is not good. Just to say, isn't there a better version of this where you run fish, use Bahamut, summon Exegolem without materials, and spy or box it away? Yes, that is the ideal version to play Exegolem Burn. That is what you should be playing if you have more money or if you have more gems. But we're playing a free-to-play deck, which means we won't play a Bahamut shop. But yeah, you're right. Definitely, if you have Bahamut shop, definitely play that card, and also play level 4 fish monsters to make it. Okay, that's good. Our opponent plays Abyss Dweller, but that means he can't protect his Abyss Dweller with his Balinix. So that is wonderful. But we still probably need to play around his roll. Mystic Boss number 2, please! Okay, reload. We still have a chance though. He just shotguns Abyss Dweller. I don't think Abyss Dweller would be a good choice against Photons anyway. Because against Photons, they don't actually use a lot of graveyard effects. They only revive from the graveyard with revival spells, but they don't use effects from the graveyard. The only effect that they use is the graveyard effect of Shuffle Reborn, which doesn't do a lot. It's more like a win more effect than combo starter. And then yeah, okay, Falco, Recycle. Okay, as long as that isn't Aurora, which it probably is, we'll be fine. Or if we draw another Mystic Box. Photons are like access code topper. Yes, that's pretty true. It's like access code. You just keep popping every single card on the field. Okay, we hope for the best. We summon Asako in attack position. Asagolem in attack position, and then we activate skill, and then we use Mystic Box, and then we pop the Abyss Dweller, and then give our opponent Asagolem. And our opponent will activate Roll, probably. And then we... Oh, he doesn't! Okay. Interesting. Interesting. But we're probably gonna lose anyway because he has 3 monsters and we have nothing on our field. Yeah, we're probably gonna lose anyway. Yeah. End turn. Okay, while we successfully locked our opponent with Acid Golem, but he already has lethal on board, so we're still gonna lose anyway. But yeah, that's basically how a deck works. We wait for our opponent to summon something, and then we give our opponent Acid Golem, and then they take 1000 damage every turn. They can't attack with this card, they can't special summon, so they can't even link it away. And then we will just make a monster on the field to stall until our opponent eventually burns themselves to death. But yeah, our opponent is just going to attack full lethal. Yep. End. Oh, is he playing a legalist? Probably. It only makes sense if he is playing a legalist. Otherwise, why wouldn't you use raw? Yeah, probably a legalist based person. Yeah, legalist. Oh, lead 2 debugs, triple circle, no econ. Yeah, it's legal. It even playing Agnimazid. Oh wait, that's actually really interesting. That's actually a really interesting tech for Salads. Salads will probably transition from annoying back row deck into an OTK deck because they can't have raw anymore, so Gazelle will probably mill combo extender like Jaguar, and then yeah, True King Agnimazid, pretty interesting card. And because their Salads have graveyard effects like Foxy, Falco, and Jaguar, it makes sense to destroy your own monsters. Oh, they can even play Fire King. They can play the Fire King Arvato as a turn 1 negate. It just normal summon. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's a Chinese player. It's a Chinese person in my chat. Hello. Even though I do speak Chinese, I don't want to speak it on stream because no one will understand. But yeah, if you use Chinese in my comments, I will reply to you back in Chinese. Okay, we're just losing this one. Can we make tournament for the new balance today? Sure, if you want to. I'll just make a point battle room for just banlist. Why not? It'll be pretty fun. But there will be no prizes. Just as a pretty fun deck to play. Oh, matchmaking is taking so long. Okay, finally. Okay, are we going second? Second? Yeah, going second. Nice. Oh no, we don't have Mystic Box. We need Mystic Box. Okay, this guy's name is interesting. How do you even do that? Is it an emoji or something? Oh, it's 2 alternating emojis. It's the square of the white on top and the square of the black on top. Oh, never mind. Even if we draw a box, he'll just negate it. So, no. Okay, I hope he makes a monster negate. Okay, he's not even milling the negate. He's not even using the negate. But oh, because he has monster negate. Okay, that makes sense. I hope he's making the monster negate and not the spell negate, because I really need the spell negate. Oh, is he milling his entire deck? No. Oh, come on. Just imagine if he just milled his entire deck off using monster negate. But if you look at his graveyard, he did mill both of his Deviatis with his monster negate, which is pretty funny. He probably planned to mill Deviati using Decatron, but it's milled. It's in the graveyard, so he can't use that anymore. And judging by what he has, he probably drew the spell negate. So as long as he doesn't summon that, I'll be fine. Okay, he's probably gonna summon it right now, which is not good. Have you seen the ban list? Yes, I have just finished the ban list review. I've done the ban list reaction before I'm playing this deck. And yeah, it's wild. Do I like it? Yes, I like it. Even though econ is limited to 1, it's good. Okay, we don't have the we don't have the Mystic Box. No reason to play. YouTube video balance reaction? Yes. In a few hours time, I'll be uploading my initial reactions on YouTube. So if you've missed it, you can go back and watch it. Going second? No. Badge. And Shang. Okay, we're not winning this. Is it my notes? Oh, we're going second. Nice. Mystic Box? Yes, Mystic Box. No, not that many Mystic Boxes. It's like this sometimes. Sometimes you wish to get a Mystic Box, and then you get all 3 copies of it. What are the chances? Can someone in chat actually tell me what are the chances of drawing 3 cards in a 20 card deck? All 3 copies of the same card? Anyway, that should be all we need, even though we drew Mystic Box. Because we have Reload, and I will just shuffle back all the Mystic Boxes. And, yep, there we go. Full combo. Draw, Sentry of Stone, and then special summon Gorgon Gargoyle. And then we just hope that our opponent doesn't just disrupt our beautiful combo. Oh, that's not a disruption. That's great, that's not a disruption. Can it banish face down cards? Okay, he's just using it right away, okay. We can just pop the... Oh no, yeah, he can just tribute summon! No! No! Oh, he can tribute summon! He's playing Magnites, he can tribute summon Golem! No! No, come on, why? Okay, what do we do now? We know that we can't win this one. Do for the hell? No. 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 I don't have enough time to just play it. I need to end stream pretty soon. So I can't spend too much time just to wait for our opponent to do stuff. And I'll be satisfied for one win. One win and it will be fine. Econ limit is a big hit, yeah, you're right. But is it a bad one or a good one? I think it's reasonable. And it's good in a way that it allows a lot of decks to have their limited 2 cards unlimited. So, just wait for our opponent to just put up 10 million negates. Why are you not scoop? Good idea. Let's just scoop this one. Oh wait, he's not. Is he making Trish? Is he making Trish? He looks like he's gonna make Trish. Anyway, I do not have the patience to wait for him. Trish loop. He doesn't even have How does he even make the Trish loop in Duel Links without desynchro? Good question. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, we will be waiting for a while to actually get someone in matchmaking. Oh yeah, he can make it rank 6. But he's just gonna loop it once, right? Because he can only bounce it with M6 once, and then he'll have to M10. Boom, okay. Going second against what? Blue Eyes? Who do you think the early December character going to be? I haven't actually checked the upcoming updates tab yet. And to be honest, I don't really care about the upcoming updates. I'll just play the events when they arrive. He has waifu sleeves, huh? Tour guide fan. But I do believe that black whirlwind sleeves are in every way superior. Because it's black. And it matches with every single card map. Every single playmat. The reason why I like black whirlwind sleeves so much is because it just matches with every single playmat so well. You can literally play, and you can just find any playmat in the game and use it with black whirlwind sleeves and it will look good. Because it's black. And there aren't a lot of black sleeves in the game that look good. Oh no, he can just tribute his Spirit Dragon, right? Come on, why can't we have an opponent to actually use a Resolve Mystic Box? He can just tribute Spirit Dragon and then a Mystic Box will just blank. Okay, going second. Alright, a Shizu player. Is he playing Abyss Actors? Oh, Prescience. He's playing Fluffles. Okay. Or maybe Hazy Flame. We'll never know. He could be playing Hazy Flame for all we know. Light Swan? Wait, people just play this skill with weird decks. Light Swan. Okay, Bacon Saber doesn't matter at all. If he summons the Fortunately the Every, it will be really funny because it doesn't work at all. I can just pop his Every, give an Acid Golem, and then he couldn't summon back his Every, and it will be hilarious. Every time. And now we just need Mystic Box. If we draw Mystic Box, we win. Mystic Box. Mystic Box, please. I'll just activate Reload now, so I have a higher chance of drawing Mystic Box instead of after I summon monsters. Okay, great, Mystic Box. Let's go. Sentry Surgical Stone. Sucker Tractor. Oh, why does he have a delay? Not that it matters because it's probably White Princess because I saw him mill a White Princess. So it's probably White Princess, but it doesn't matter because even if that's a DD Crow, it doesn't do anything against our deck. We can just summon it in our EMZ. It doesn't matter because we're just giving it to our opponent anyway. And before we give it to our opponent, remember to use your skill. Otherwise, he will just use it to attack, and you will be taking a lot of damage. And then finally, we activate Mystic Box. We pop the Every, give our opponent this gigantic Acid Golem of Destruction. We place it right in the middle, and then we end our turn. Every doesn't banish own field. It doesn't matter because he can't summon back his Every. Because Acid Golem prevents himself from special summoning, so he can't even revive his Every back. So it doesn't matter if he can banish his own monsters or not. And also, I don't think he can. Yeah, he only banishes face-up monster the opponent controls. So yeah, he's now probably looking at his own Acid Golem and wondering what on earth to do with it. They do run tribute monsters? Probably not. I don't think they will. Honestly. I don't think they are. Unless they're playing some really jank cards. Okay, he's a normal summoning White Princess. Interesting. Stego Cyber. Oh yeah, he can play Stego Cyber. Right. But, it seems like he doesn't have it. Ooh, nice draw. Really nice draw. The best draw. Because now we can normal summon our Gargoyle, and since our graveyard is entirely made out of rock monsters, we can just do this. And then, Sentry Soldier of Stone can revive itself when you control rock monsters, and not the graveyard. And now we can, normally you can make Nightmare Shark deal 2000 and then wait for Acid Golem to deal lethal, but because he has a White Princess, I will not do that. I'll instead make Gorgonic Guardian. And that will allow me to get rid of his White Princess. And there we go. And then we will activate its effect now. We'll change his White Princess to 0. Normally you would want to wait for your opponent to actually use an effect, but yeah, there we go. It's that easy. Just throw your opponent in acid golem and wait for them to die. There we go. Okay. We finally got a win. I will have to end stream. Because, yeah, I have other stuff to do. Yeah, and he's probably already dead. I can just put a monster on defense and, even if he doesn't burn to death, he will just draw his entire deck. Is he playing Stego Cyber? He's not playing Stego Cyber. So he doesn't have an out. He has no out. He isn't playing Stego Cyber. He doesn't have an out to Acid Golem. Okay, I'll end stream. Raid people. Let's raid someone. And also, tomorrow I will also be streaming. I will be streaming top 5 free-to-play decks. That is originally what I wanted to stream this stream, but because of the ban list, I have changed up my schedule. So, yeah. We will do that tomorrow. And I will see you next time. Have a beautiful day or night. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.